My name is Liz Kellogg, and I am volunteering here with Boulder County Parks and Open Space, in particular the Peck Garden, which is a garden that the county set up to grow various native plants in large quantities to be used in restoration projects on county property, whether it's trail restoration or something that got dug up inadvertently, or slash pile restoration, all kinds of restorations. I am a weeder. I come out here and I weed and I weed and I weed, but I also keep the county employees apprised of any major events, any major needs, how the plants are developing, whether they're ready to pick seed or just as a liaison between the plants and the county. The garden was started in 2012, was when they first planted, and I was here on the initial plantings. I spent all of my youth, last 50 years, hiking all over Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and the land is what saves me every day. And as I get older and don't hike up 14ers anymore, I started doing a lot of volunteer work to give back to the land. Well, it has definitely made it harder to get onto volunteer projects. And so that's been tricky, but it's also had a further effect, which I feel like it brings me and the other volunteers closer together when we do get a chance to get together. It's all that much more important to us to have that human interaction. Watching these plants grow and thrive and seeing the amount of seed that we're getting from this work. And what we are doing is growing plants that you cannot buy commercially. You can't buy the seed. And or if you can, it's so expensive, like $300 a pound, for example, or it's the same genetic name as ours, but it's raised in Illinois or California, and it doesn't grow the same way as plants that are adapted with local ecotype, as they call it. Well, I think it really helps the government to have these plants to help with their restoration needs, because there's always something coming up that needs to be reseeded. For the community, well, it beautifies their lands that they've spent money on, but also it's a real wonderful educational tool. I'll be out here weeding, and this is a really heavily used bike path, not today, but it gets a lot of walkers, a lot of riders, and invariably somebody comes up to the fence and asks. And so it's a real wonderful educational thing to give people a heads up that these plants are important in the landscape, but they're also important in our yards, that we need to be thinking in terms of using more and more of them in our yards.